Thank you, Anthony. The purpose of this meeting is several things. It's an informational meeting. It's to look at and have any questions or answers that you may have for us about the district budget. It's to find out some of the things that's going on around the district from our directors. And then at the conclusion of this, then when the meeting adjourns, that's when the vote starts. And then we'll have 72 hours for you to cast your ballots. We will now say the district mission together. It's printed on the agenda. We
build
new clubs
and
support all clubs in achieving excellence. Welcome everyone to the first ever District 24 virtual meeting. On the District 24 at d24tm.org, we have the agenda copy. We will now do the adoption of the agenda unless there are things to correct. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed? The agenda is adopted. We now move on to the confirmation of the district officers appointed for 2018-2019. This was also on the District 24 website under the public downloads. And also there are the list of the clubs for each of the area directors in our district. The vote for the conclusion of this meeting, but for now, duly noted the listings and where they are located for the district officers that were appointed for 2018-2019 Toastmasters year. Moving on to the approval of the minutes from the April 21st, 2018 meeting. This occurred at the District 24 Spring Conference, which was held in Kearney, Nebraska on April 21st, 2018. These minutes were posted in the public downloads on the District 24 d24tm.org website. Is there anything that needs to be brought up about the minutes as far as corrections or other statements? Hearing none, the minutes are approved for the previous meeting as stated. I will now pull up the audit committee report, which was submitted by the chair, Don Holtz, a few weeks ago. And this is also going to be posted in the public downloads area of the District 24 website. When it comes up on my computer.
Looks as good as any restaurant. I say they look as good as any restaurant. Not red, man, but they're not green.
Bear with me, I have a slow internet.
So we each have two. Yeah, I seen that round spot. She forward.
While I'm waiting for that to pull up, I will move on and come back to this later to Cindy Jenkins, our District 24 Finance Manager, who will do her presentation of the 2017-2018 profit and loss statement. After that, she will go into the presentation of the proposed District 24 budget for 2018-2019. Please welcome Cindy Jenkins.
Just give me 1 second and I will share my screen. Can everyone see my report for tonight?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This is the profit and loss as of the end of June, and it is the abbreviated form. As you can see, our total district revenue was a little bit less than what we expected, and that is largely because our revenue for the conference was lower than what we expected. Membership was about just a little lower, but the revenue for the conference was down. District expenses were lower than budget by quite a bit, and all expense categories were below budget except for education and training. So that is my report from last year on the profit and loss. Are there any questions? Now I'd like to share with you the budget for this year. This is what you're voting on. This number is the remaining balance that's carried over from years past, $30,490.92. This number is 7173 is the number that we must retain for the district to carry over. Now what we have done, first membership revenue numbers have been given to us from TI. We projected $11,000 in conference revenue. At this time, we were not able to break it out any finer than that. And we projected this $750 was from the Toastmasters Live event, which I'm very pleased to say they did a little better than that. I haven't seen the final figures yet. So our revenue for this year is around $40,444. That's our projected. Our budget expenses are $63,753. If I break down as you can see it. Now, adding the revenue plus the reserve, subtracting the expenses and what we need to keep on reserve, we have a remaining balance of $9.20, and that is if we spend all of this money. I can open the floor for questions if there's anything you wanted to see with the budget.
Now, again, the goal is to have that amount be as close to zero as possible without
Yes.
going negative, correct?
That is correct. I think $9.20 is about as close as I can get.
So Cindy, you said we lost revenue last year, and so we didn't make, explain, and this always messes me up, but we have $30,000 in the bank, and we're supposed to end the year close to zero in the bank? Is
No,
that what I understand?
we need to have a zero-based budget.
Okay. So
Okay.
we can still have $30,000 in the bank in reserves, but our budget needs to be
Right.
as close to zero.
Right. And we
Okay.
are as close to zero as I think we can get.
Right. And so for the conference planning committee, I can take to them, you know, when we're breaking down food and lodging for speakers and speaker fees and various other things, I can tell them we have a budget of $8,448 to spend. Correct?
Now, that does not include speaker. That
Okay.
includes speaker is elsewhere. I would have to look at that quickly. I believe
Okay.
it's not quite $2,000 we've allowed for speaker.
Okay, so that comes out of a different line item.
Yes.
Okay. Would it be possible to get kind of that line item budget as far as what comes out where? Because we'll be meeting
Yes.
soon and starting to break down.
Let me make a note of that, Colleen.
Thank you very much.
And this is one of the items that you're voting on. I believe it's the first one on the ballot.
Did you see that Marion had a question? She said she had a question on the narratives because they are too general, is what she typed in the chat.
I can't see the chat and display at the
Right.
same time. So
Well, that
you're
was
gonna-
what she typed. She said, I have a question on the narratives because they are too general.
Okay,
I've had
Cindy,
them
this
re-
is Marion. When you go into the narrative tab, those are all questions. They're all general. They really need to be itemized because you're explaining why you budgeted that amount. For example, the membership revenue budgeted $28,694. The narrative's purpose is to explain why you're spending that. Asking questions, what is the district's goal for the year regarding membership? That belongs more in the district success plan, not the budget narrative. It's not defined enough for me for
Mary,
what Toastmasters asked us to do.
the revenue, the membership numbers were given to us, and this is personally, I can't explain how they gave them to us. Those were the numbers given to us from PI. You'd have to go to them and ask for that explanation.
Well, that may be true, but what they're doing is they're saying, okay, membership revenue is $28,694. And they're asking you to explain, you've got, okay, let's go to conference net income loss. Okay, on here it says at this time, what is the plan for the spring conference? What city, state, country will it be held? We already know that. We voted on it in the spring conference. The spring conference for 2019 is to be in Omaha at Nebraska Methodist College. It's not going to cost us anything for the facility, but there are costs for possibly food or something else. Maybe that's where the speaker is coming from. This is why I'm saying it is not defined enough. It's too general. You're asking questions when you should be answering the questions of where the money is being spent or projected to be spent. It's not hard and fast.
The money is being spent and is shown on the actual budget breakdown.
And what is the narrative for?
Narratives to give things like, where is the conference? You don't put that in the budget. So in the budget, you're saying the conference registration, $10,000. We expect approximately 100 people. We expect for the auction and the auction and the raffle, $500 a piece. That's, I mean, these are the budgets. Badges and pins, we looked these up. Meals, $6,000. If
But
you go,
meals
you spend that
don't
much
come out
time
of
listening to
the
the
budget.
narrative.
I'm just saying in general, the narratives are not complete. That's all.
Okay, but I've already had TI look at them and they're fine with the narratives. Again, I can expand some more on them and will. But again, I've explained in the budgeting what we have, and I said we're saying $100 a piece for registrants, and we're expecting 100 people. That explains $10,000.
It looks like in the narrative, it looks like to me that there are a set of questions that you're being asked to answer, and then the answers are just below, right? Like with the
That's correct.
conference, it has the question of where it will be held, and then further down in that box, you have the answer to that it will be in Omaha.
That's correct.
Okay.
There's always, when we do budgeting like this, it's always difficult. Do you leave the questions in or do you take them out? Had this question at work also, but we decided to leave the questions in so that we knew what we were dealing with.
And you said that TI approved them and said it was fine the way they were presented.
Yes, they said that the budget, they had several suggestions about the way the money was allocated, which I had corrected and moved as they asked, but they made no comments. They said the narratives were fine, no comments on the narratives. Now, if they came back again, I mean, that doesn't mean they couldn't come back again when we submitted it finally and say, we want more explanation. That's always possible. Are there any other questions that I can try to answer? Some of them are difficult, I understand. I will note that this is a new expense this year. TI is allocating back overhead to each of the districts. We're allocated just under $120 a month, so Excel rounds it up. It is what the national office does for us, so I'm sure the other districts are getting a similar allocation, and this will continue.
Cindy, I found the conference tab, which actually gives me the breakdown that my team is going to need. But I notice on
Okay.
the audiovisual expense, we may need to add a line item for that because we have to do a professional videotaping of the contest.
We put that in the speech contest.
Okay, so that budget is goes under the speech contest.
Yes,
Okay.
it does. Again, I cannot see anything that you're putting in the chat right now, so you're going to have to keep speaking up, or someone else is going to have to tell me because it flashes briefly on my screen and then it goes away. So yes, this is for equipment rental or whatever we need for the speech contest, but that needs to be kept separate from the conference.
Okay.
So you might want to take a look at that, Colleen. We also have other budgeting there.
Oh, because that's the speech contest within. Okay. Question answered.
Is there any other questions or comments?
It looks like Rebecca asked a question about stationery cards and thank yous.
We have administration expenses. We also have marketing, a lot of marketing expenses, the supplies and stationery expense. We do have different areas where we put that information. Something else, are you asking about flyers, Rebecca? Is that for the contest? We have supplies and stationery expense for the contest is here, $200. And awards.
Cindy,
Yes,
for the speech contest tab, you have $1,500 budgeted. Is
yes,
that for all of the area, division, and district contests together?
it's just for the district.
That is just for the district contest. So that's just for the 2 contests that will happen at the district conference.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions at this time?
Glenn, purely procedural. Once this is approved, we need to sign off on it. Is that going to be done? Are the trio going to get together to sign it, or will it be passed around round robin by email? Have you decided on that?
Yeah, we'll probably do it by email, scan in electronically for our signatures.
Okay.
Anything else before I move on? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to return back to talk about earlier, the District 24 audit report from the audit committee. The audit committee completed their semi-annual work to examine the district financial records as directed and prescribed by Toastmaster guidelines. The committee concluded that the records were in good order and satisfied Toastmaster standards, and the sign-off page was delivered to TI World Headquarters on September 4th, 2018. The rest of the page will be shared shortly on the District 24 website by the close of the evening. I will move on now to the Administration Manager's Report from Nancy Jeanette. Nancy?
Thank you, Glenn. Just a reminder for our division leaders to send the reports to me by email. Prefer everything electronic so I don't have to write it all down. I'm taking notes on this meeting, but if you have something significant you want me to include, be sure to send that to me. For the monthly deck meetings, I'm asking that those notes are sent to me on the Friday before our deck meeting, and then if you have changes that you'd like to make after we have the meeting, that's fine. I'll have up until the Monday after to do so. Same thing with any announcements or new business items. I would prefer those electronically so we make sure that we have an accurate record of that. And that's my report.
You're muted,
Glenn,
Glenn.
you're muted.
Thank you, Nancy. Next on our agenda is the reports by our division directors. They are limited to 2 minutes apiece. And the first one is from Division A, John Paul Arias, and he would not be present at tonight's meeting from what I understand. He has sent in the Division D report, and I will bring that up shortly to read. The Division B report will be presented by Gloria Harmon as I pull up John Paul's report. Gloria?
Okay, our success plan, division success plan, we had 4 major goals for the year. They were finish educational goals for each club, 8 new members per club, dues paid on time, and then 747, the officers trained. For the educational goals, most of the clubs are doing fairly well. For the educational goals, let me go over what they do have. We have had 2 clubs get the Smedley Award for 8. We have Prim get the Circle of Honor. We received the Zenith Award for paid dues. We received, let me see, CS Speak and 281 did the Smedley. 747, I still have to check that. I've had some issues with the computer, but for most of the goals, we are on target for where we want to be distinguished by we are distinguished already, but to be even distinguished plus by the end of the Toastmaster year. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria, for your report. The Division A report from John Paul Arias, I will hit the highlights. It's a 2-pager. The area began with 5 clubs and now has 3 clubs in good standing. Yakety Yackers has decided to no longer be a club. Advanced Traveling Toastmasters has earned 2 DCP goals, has not renewed all of its 8 members. Uh, Kearney Toastmasters has earned 1 DCP goal and 10 members. And Wayne and Luminaries were suspended on September the 30th. The Toastmaster of the Year for MPPD was awarded to Bernard Anderson. The celebration was very well attended by present and past members. And Area A3 has 5 clubs. The Toast of the Town, used to be known as the Dow Club, has 24 members with 3 DCP goals accomplished already. Southwest has 14 members, 3 DCP goals. Road Toasters 14 with 1 DCP goal, and Landmark has 11 members with 1 DCP goal, and Government Gathers 13 members with 2 DCP goals. There's a Zoom meeting that was held on October 22nd with the Division A council members to work on their success plan, and they will have bi-monthly meetings. This is the summary of the Division A report. Moving on to the report by our division director, Division C, presented by Division Director Laurel Schof-Tranik. Is she present?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Glenn, so much for handing this over. Division C has many excellent members and clubs. We have a great team work as evidenced by participation by the Division C and Area A3 in assisting with both the Lincoln and Grand Island Toastmaster Leadership Institute sessions earlier in the summer, in addition to offering another training that was put on in Lincoln for the benefit of members that couldn't attend the trainings that were offered previously. We also had many area directors and leaders work on making sure that their clubs knew what the positions needed to be aware of. The relationships, our area directors are visiting clubs, creating relationships with the club officers and members, and are acting as valuable resources to those that have questions. Pathways is being used in varying degrees by our clubs. We recognize that this is a transition period, and we encourage our clubs and presidents and VP of Eds to ask for assistance to the district, areas, and division. Officers are asking questions, and progress is being made so that members are signing up and starting this new journey. Membership building is a common goal among all of our clubs and areas. We are aware that guest days are being held, a speechcraft is underway, and members are visiting and speaking in other clubs. We have a talented leadership pool of area directors and assistants and club leaders clubs members can tap into as well. We're here to support the success of your clubs and members as they grow to meet their goals. Division C offers continued learning through council meetings on a monthly basis that is carried on from the inception of a previous Division C director, Donnie Stoner. Donnie Stoner is currently the Area 3 director and has a monthly area council meeting with her club leaders and area assistants that is progressing well as well. We look forward to the Halloween party this Saturday at 12 o'clock to 2:30 at Madonna Center. Thank you for this. Signing off.
Thank you, Laurel, for your report. Moving on to the Division D Director report by Jessica Coder. Jessica.
Thanks. My recap for the year so far. Division D got off to a really awesome start. 100% of our clubs submitted their officers list on time to start the year. We also did very well with training. 59% of those officers received training in the fall. We're doing a very good job overall on membership, but the struggle is that it's really a few high member clubs that are carrying those membership numbers. There's several of other clubs that struggle to stay afloat. We have 2 clubs, A Rousers and NMC Voices for Change, that are a little bit short on renewals because they were only able to renew 7 members. We've lost Downtown Dodgers. We're also going to be losing Oration Omaha. So we're looking for any opportunities to make up for that loss by forming at least one new club. I'm not aware of any specific leads that are being progressed there, but we're looking for opportunities. And we have 3 other clubs that are still viable but are eligible for club coaches. Our members are starting to get into pathways, as Division C mentioned as well. 47% of our clubs have at least one Pathways educational award already achieved, so that's really awesome. We do have some frustrations and uncertainty continuing surrounding Pathways, but we're reaching out and trying to address those concerns. As an example of that, we had our Pathways Level 1 demo meeting at Toastmasters Live this past weekend that was presented by Division D. And speaking of that event, there were lots of Division D leaders and members who were heavily involved with that as organizers and presenters. So that was a great outreach that we provided. We also continue to promote individual club events, having special events like the Blue Busters Murder Mystery that they had last month and Real Talkers Happy Hour also last month. Our focus going forward needs to be on that balanced membership retention and growth, not just having a few really strong clubs, but getting all of our membership numbers up. And we will continue to focus on promoting the educational program and special events so that we can keep members engaged. And our motto for Division D is to grow, which is an acronym that stands for Get Ready, Opportunity Waits.
Jessica?
Yes.
This is Colleen.
Yes,
we have our 8th member for NMC Voices for Change. We're just trying to get her paid through TI. We're having some difficulty. She started the registration process trying to pay online, and now I'm trying to get her in so she can pay online. So we have our 8th member.
Excellent. That's excellent news.
Was that the conclusion of the Division D report?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to the Division E report delivered by Cynthia Coleman. Cynthia? Is Cynthia there?
I gotta make sure her phone's not muted.
Okay.
She's talking, but her mic's muted. I have to go show her. She's here.
Okay, sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my phone. It's acting crazy, but this is Cynthia Coleman, Division E. And so far with our division, our area directors are working the program as best as they possibly can with visiting their clubs and encouraging each of them. We have lost each of the club members and the executive board. We are also lost a club. We have several leads that are definitely an opportunity. We are encouraging each club, each one of them to do better than they did last year. And those that I would say the issues that we are having, we're trying to handle as best as we can, because there is an opportunity to continue to grow within Toastmasters. So that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Cynthia, for your report. We now will move on to the reports by the other leaders. We also are limited to about 2 minutes each. Starting with, first of all, the procedure is to have the immediate past district director give their report, but there was no report. So then we will move on to the public relations manager report from Jacob Lawson. Jacob.
Okay, I don't have too much. One of our big things we did this year is we did introduce the Zoom scheduling on the District 24 webpage to make it available to all the members of the district. And since then, we have seen a increase of that being used. We have continued to send a newsletter out on the 5th of each month. Our viewership is steady, about 22% of the district from what I'm able to estimate. While it's good steady, it's still not as high as we'd like to see it. And we have maintained steady usage of Facebook and Meetup as our social media platforms. I do have some goals for the year. What I do want to increase advertising and promotion of the spring conference, so we can have a large conference, since it's going to be a good opportunity to, as it is anytime. And then I'm also looking to kind of copy a few of the districts and host PR sessions and teach how to work the brand compliance and how to do the best sort of advertising. As far as issues, we are looking for new ways to improve our process at all times. We are doing this through networking. And then also we are always welcoming submissions for the double dozen, which we do by the 25th of the month. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Jacob, for your report. Moving on to the Club Growth Director report. That will be delivered by Club Growth Director Mark Fagan. Mark?
Thank you, Glenn. So far this year, the district has lost a few clubs. It's sometimes tough to tell how many because the international website isn't always up to date. We're currently seeing about a 25% drop in membership payments. Enough of the negative. On the positive side, we currently have 2 new clubs, Piedmont Seventh-day Adventist in Lincoln and Zachary Engineering in Omaha, that are close to chartering. Zachary should have their charter payments ready to go next month, and their charter party should be January 9th. We are also pursuing several other club leads in Omaha and Lincoln areas. If you know of a potential club, please share that information with myself, with Tammy Lang, who is the Club Extension Committee Chairman for the district, or with your area director so they can move it up the chain. October and April are key periods in the Toastmasters year. Club renewals are due the first of each month. I want to encourage each of you to first pause and consider what being a Toastmaster has meant to you, and then share your experience with someone else. Think about this for a moment. What will happen if every Toastmaster in District 24 rather, is able to extend the benefits of Toastmasters to a friend? Just think about that. This is my challenge to you. Between now and the end of the year, take the one brings one challenge. Share the benefits you have gained from Toastmasters with a friend or coworker, and help them become among our newest members of District 24. Yes, District 24 is facing a year of challenges, but I believe that by acting together, we can build on our strengths and overcome those weaknesses. Acting as a team, we will make District 24 great again. Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, Mark, for your report. A reminder to people that if you are not speaking, your connection, the mute button is in the lower left portion of the window. Moving on to the Program Quality Director report. That will be delivered by the Program Quality Director, Linda Wilson. Linda?
Thank you, Glenn. We've had many opportunities to shine over the past 4 months as we focused on the quality of our programs with emphasis on education, learning, and growing together. The enthusiasm and engagement of our district leaders was apparent during the TLI training sessions in July and August. I am proud of our division and area directors who stepped up to the challenge of planning and coordinating additional TLI sessions in August. I also appreciate our clubs as they encourage their officers to participate in training. While we didn't achieve our goal of 7 of 7 club officers trained in every club in District 24, we have set this as a benchmark for the winter TLIs in December and January. We had a fantastic first time ever fall educational event, Toastmasters Live, on October 20th at Nebraska Methodist College in Omaha. This was a great team effort. Planning has begun for the District 24 Spring Conference, April 26th through 27th at the Nebraska Methodist College. The theme is Find Your Path. Our featured speaker is Ed Tate, 2000 World Champion of Public Speaking. Pathways is doing slow but steadily well in District 24. We will continue to provide the support and training to our club members so that everyone understands the benefits and is confident, engaged, and enthusiastic about this new educational experience. It has been and continues to be my vision and goal that all members and district leaders will have exceptional education and training experiences to reach their fullest potential. I am excited about the future educational opportunities planned in the coming months. Let's move. Respectfully yours.
Thank you, Linda, for your report. Moving on to the district director report, that's going to be delivered by myself, the District 24 director. Fellow Toastmasters, I believe in the people of Toastmasters District 24. We have a wealth of talent and ideas coming forward and waiting to come forward. Our skill as leaders needs to be in listening to this from the members and fellow leaders. This will be necessary to retain their wisdom and experience to continue to grow. Our district has moved forward on the areas outlined previously by our directors. Many potential approaches require your input as we go forward in finding the right path that works for people. There remain many exciting challenges ahead, which will allow members to move forward towards leaders and for leaders to shine. Our challenges are years in the making and need the guidance, support, and hard work by all of us, from member through club to beyond, in order to move in the right direction. There is a reason we joined Toastmasters, and that is in connecting with people. Whether it is communicating more effectively or organizing our thoughts, we joined with that in mind. We stay for the benefit that we see and that others have seen in us. May all of us move forward on mentoring each other, outreach to underserved populations, be more visible as an organization internally and externally to Toastmasters, and underline the benefits of the education this organization provides. MOVE is an acronym that stands for Mentoring, Outreach, Visibility, and Education. These just scratch the surface of our many benefits. This is our 70th year as a district in an organization that is 94 years strong. I believe in your greatness. Respectfully yours, Glenn Williams, District 24 Director. Is there any new business to come before the District Council at this time? Hearing none and reading none, at this point in time, there is opportunity for announcements. They are limited. Are there any announcements to be made at this time?
Glenn, this is Cindy Jenkins. The ballots are being cast, so don't forget to vote.
Thank you, Cindy. Are there any other announcements at this time? Hearing none and reading none, I move on to the time and place for our next district. It will be at our District 24 annual meeting, which will be held at the Nebraska Methodist College on Saturday, April 27th, 2019 at 9 a.m. in Omaha, Nebraska. Mark that on your calendars.
Glenn, is 9 a.m. a set time?
It may be subject to change, but I like to start it 1 hour later to give opportunity for the first timer to get acclimated to the first time at the conference. Then they can move into the business meeting if they are one of the attendees. That's what I'm thinking of at this time, but it is subject to change.
Thank you.
You're welcome. At this point, I will adjourn the meeting. The meeting of the District 24 District Council for the fall business meeting is now adjourned. The vote has begun. Please be sure to follow the links that are in your emails. Fellow club presidents and vice presidents education. And be sure to cast your vote. We need your representation. We need your voice. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.